What's up, everybody? It's Glenn and Big Jack back with the best bets of the NFL weekend. Last week, Jack managed to bring himself back to 500 on the season. He had a 2-1 week, bringing himself to 17, 17, and 2 on the year. I did not have such luck. I went 0 3, bringing my miserable record down to 13, 22, and 1 on the season. Big Jack, it's a pleasure to have you back. Let's get some winners this week. What do you say?
Got to keep it rolling, man. I think it's obviously a little bit of a tough week for you. Unfortunately, with the 0-3, never want to see the goose egg out there. And the overall record, we need to do some work down the stretch. But feeling good about, I think it's 3 winning weeks in a row. I think 2-1, hanging out at close to that 67% clip consistently for coming up on almost a month now. So feeling good about where I'm at in the second half of the season. Hopefully got a better handle on these teams and continue to trend that direction down the stretch to keep giving out some winners.
Yeah, man. I mean, it'd be nice if you won or you ended the season with a pretty good record, and I got a little bit closer to 500. But all we can do is control what we have going on this week. And with that being said, I'll get into my first pick. My first pick of the week. People are going to call me a Packers fan. I'm going Packers -3.5 at the Bears. This is more of the Bears defense can't stop anybody. I think Justin Fields is supposed to be playing, which makes me think that the Bears offense might score some points. However, the Packers defense is okay. I just think that the Bears can't stop anybody right now. They have the most pathetic front seven I've maybe ever seen in an NFL uniform. I'll take anybody, maybe outside the Houston Texans. I'll take anybody laying 3.5 points against the Bears right now. Packers -3.5. That's the first pick of the week.
Can't knock it. I was on the Jets last week against the Bears, and that was one of the biggest no sweats I've had in a while in anything. So I, could see your logic. It's the Bears are at a point now where it's almost like I think, yeah, Fields started going crazy with his legs, and their offense, started putting up some big numbers themselves, but all their games have gone over, I think, 4 or maybe even 5 in a row now. And it's one of those things that's a rare situation where you're almost intrigued by the over just because of how horrendous the defense is. It's not even necessarily about the offenses being that explosive.
Right.
So, yeah, I can't knock that pick if Rodgers is out there. You know, technically the Packers still have a chance if they get hot. A couple things bounce their way down the stretch, and we all know what Rodgers' record is against the Bears.
I'm gonna stop you real quick and just say, I don't care if it's Rodgers. I don't care if it's Love. I don't care if it's freaking Brett Hundley coming back. I don't care who it is. Mike White just looked like the greatest quarterback of all time against the Bears last week. I don't care who it is. The rest of the season, I'm just rooting for the Bears defense to be really bad and full blown rebuild it this offseason. I'd like to see Justin Fields still do well the rest of the year. I'd like to see Chase Claypool do some things. I'd like to see the offensive line still look decent. That being said, Packers -3.5. Put me at quarterback, and we got a shot at covering that number. Packers -3.5 at Soldier Field. What's your first pick of the week?
Yeah, fair enough. Can't argue with it. I mean, that defensive front, like you said, is one of the worst we'll ever see.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about it. I'm going to go stay in the division, actually. I'm going to go to the Detroit game. I think a lot of people are going to be riding the high of Jacksonville and Trevor Lawrence, that big win. Maybe I'll get bit by this. Maybe Jacksonville themselves will sort of ride that momentum. But I'm actually going to take Detroit at home. I'm showing it straight. It's an even pick 'em. They're both -110 on the money line. I'm going to take the Lions to get it done at home. Not going to get cute with the point. Just going to take them straight on the money line.
I like that pick. You know why I like that pick? Because I'm also on that pick. Lions
Wow.
pick them at
Let's go,
home
Mike.
versus the Jaguars. We are, despite my abysmal record, we are 2-2 on picks where we are on the same side. Let's make that a winning 3-2 this weekend. Lions pick 'em at home versus Jags. We're both on it. I couldn't love it anymore.
Beautiful, baby. Absolutely beautiful.
Oh,
All
yeah.
right, well then we'll just keep it moving quickly then. I'm gonna go with my second pick. It's I almost want to pull the trigger on an under. I don't think I gave out one earlier in the year that was like an unofficial pick
Yep.
in the Browns
And it
game.
hit.
Yeah, but I haven't actually picked it over under yet. I really kind of want to take the under in the Dolphins 49ers game, but I'm going to stay away from it. I'm just going to stick to the side that I like. I'm going to go with the 49ers minus the 4. I think they're rolling. That defense has been clicking. I like Shanahan going against, his protege and McDaniels down in Miami. Miami's been excellent. Tua, I don't think anyone is really in the conversation with Mahomes as far as MVP goes. I do think Tua would maybe finish second or third
He's
in
up there.
MVP voting. I think he's in the
Oh, yeah.
conversation for everyone outside of Mahomes. But Miami's been hanging some crooked numbers on bad teams. I don't want to say that they're fraudulent necessary on offense, but I just don't think they get it done against a top tier defense like San Francisco on the road. I think that they, slow down a little bit, and San Francisco takes care of business. I like them to win by a touchdown, so I'll lay the 4.
Right on. I like the pick. Do you know what that over under's at, by the way? Just so I can make a little side note.
46 and a half.
Okay. Yeah, it's a big number. The Niners defense I thought was going to be even better going into the season, but they're still a really good defense. I agree that the Dolphins have been kind of beating up some bad teams, but we'll see. I like the pick. 49ers minus 4. All right. My last pick of the week. I'm sticking in the division. All 3 of my picks are NFC North teams this week. I'm going Vikings minus 3 at home versus the Jets. I think some people might see that Jets number from last week, the 31-10 blowout of the Bears, where Mike White looked like Joe Montana, and are thinking that, the Jets have maybe found something at quarterback, and obviously their defense is solid. I'm going to go Vikings, go against that train of thought. Minus 3, they're a legit team, one of the most well-rounded teams in the NFL. Vikings minus 3 at home versus the Jets. That's my pick.
Yeah, I love that you're staying in the division for everything. Just the guy who knows the NFC North. That's beautiful.
We'll see. Until I go 0-3 again and just look like an idiot.
After the 0-3 weekend, you just got to stick to your guns, go with what you know. But I am struggling with my third pick. It's another week where only 2 teams are on bye. There's a lot of stuff out on the board. And there's one I don't know why the Raiders line is what it is. I kind of want to take the Raiders because it just doesn't make sense that they would be a 1-point favorite against the Chargers. But I don't have the balls to do it. I'm going to make a pick that is terrifying as well, though. I'm going to go with the Bengals. I'm going to take the point and a half at home.
Wow.
This is, part of the logic that worked for me a lot last year when I had, my best year ever as far as the picks went. It kind of burned me a lot early on this year, so I started going away from it. But I just don't see how, people look at this line and think, oh, Chiefs less than a field goal. I'm hammering it. I think the public's going to be all over the Chiefs. It seems like an easy line. Jamar Chase supposed to be coming back, probably going to be on some sort of snap count. They want him healthy down the stretch for the playoffs. It's a massive game for the Chiefs considering the Bills, Chiefs, kind of positioning for that home field advantage in the postseason. So I think they'll be up for it. I think a lot of people are thinking, oh, revenge game from the AFC Championship. And I just think the Bengals beat them. I'd almost take them on the money line if you want a little extra juice at plus 115, plus 120, depending where you shop. But I'm going to take the 1.5. I think the Bengals win the game.
Ballsy. I respect it. When you first said you were on the Bengals, my thought is always, how do you take the Chiefs only laying 1.5 points against anybody? How do you not take them, I should say, against anybody? I mean, take some guts. We'll see. I think the Bengals are 2-0 under Joe Burrow against the Chiefs, so we'll see if that record holds true. But
Yeah,
I like
it's tough. It's such a tight number, and I mean, I've made my thoughts on Mahomes pretty clear. But like I said I think I said it last week. I mean, I don't think Josh Allen's the second best quarterback in the NFL. I think Joe Burrow is. So I hold him up in a very high regard. You know, I think that they'll be motivated to go get it done, and I like him to do it.
Right on. The other thing I like about your picks, your second and third picks are games that are going to be fun to watch. The Niners, Dolphins, and the Bengals, Chiefs. Those are going to be some awesome games this week.
Yeah, there are some good matchups this week. Even that Eagles Titans game, it's gonna be tough to watch the Bears with some of this stuff going on.
For sure. All right, the picks for the week. I am on the Vikings -3 versus the Jets, the Packers -3.5 at the Bears, and the Lions in a pick'em at home versus the Jaguars. Jack's also on that Lions pick'em at home versus the Jaguars. He's on the Niners -4. At home versus Miami. And then lastly, he's on the Bengals laying a 1.5. Getting a 1.5 versus the Chiefs at home. 6-0 week coming to us. Jack, any last thoughts?
No, I just hope if you're going with the parlay, man, maybe just lay a parlay on the opposite side. Maybe that's the move. Maybe the chances of 0-6 are higher.
with me being one of the two pickers, they definitely are. It's definitely but no, you're gonna go minimum 2-1, get yourself to a 500 record, and I'm gonna go minimum 2-1, start clawing back towards 500. But all right, thanks for tuning in. Like and subscribe if you're new. We love you. See you next week. Peace.